Introducing first and fighting out of the blue corner with a record of no victories and 1 defeat, standing at 5 foot 11 inches, weighing in at 166.5 pounds, and fighting out of Boise, Idaho. Representing Legacy MMA, please welcome Jordan King. And introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner with a record of no victories and 3 defeats, standing at 5 foot 10 inches and weighing in at 169 pounds, fighting out of Nampa, Idaho, representing Team No Excuse MMA, please welcome Taylor Gang Copeland. Your referee for this fight is Rulon Day.
All right, amateur bout 2 here. Front Street Fights 30 on a Friday night. Sponsor of this fight, Blue Cross of Idaho, building healthier communities for a healthier state. I wanted to mention Taylor Copeland coming in at 0-3. There are 2 ways to take a loss. You take it on the chin, you learn from it, or you ignore it. It'd be interesting to see what Taylor Copeland has gathered over the last 3 fights.
Jordan King is also coming in at 163, significantly under the weight limit. I'm wondering if he's a little small for the division?
Welterweight, 170-pound division. Interesting to see how athletes carry themselves in. You can always debate fighters what division they should be in. What is the best way to have a weight cut? Do you cut too much? Do you cut just enough? Is a big swing there. Went for some type of a suplex there.
Taylor Copeland with the flurry.
He's keeping the pressure on.
Yeah,
he's got another run. Nice.
Nowhere to run inside the cage. As you can.
He's doing a great job, but he has to remember not to get too reckless.
Yeah. Jordan King with a big shot there, firing down. It looks like Jordan King was bloodied by a shot here in the corner from Copeland. We'll see if the blood kind of impacts his vision, as you can see it running down his face. All over both gentlemen here, matching his fight shorts as they push into the corner now. A frantic first minute.
I'd like to see him not giving his back to Jordan King. See how he's hugging that head? Sometimes that can get your back taken and put you in a really bad position. So
yeah, especially against the cage.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Right now he's having a pretty good success with it, but he has to make sure that he doesn't let Jordan King's head pop out, and because then his back is taken. Jordan King here, if his head pops out, he's going to be in a front headlock position.
Yeah, he's got myopic, right? He's focused on this one thing. He's got his bite, and he's hanging on to it. Should it pay off? Yeah.
And this is where what you learn in the amateur division is when to bail on things.
Yes. Yes. Right. When to pull the chute. When to decide this isn't working. I gotta go.
This is already a war. 2 minutes into our first round. 3 3-minute rounds. Both gentlemen taking a shot. Oh my goodness!
He rocked him with that one.
Taylor Copeland with a huge left connecting to King. Can he survive the round? Both men bloodied. Seeing if he can go for just a little bit longer. 45 seconds here. An absolute war here in our second contest of the night. Both men have got to be exhausted here with just over 30 seconds, and a huge shot there from Copeland. What a left hand. Losing his legs though. Returning with the right hand is King. Both men look absolutely exhausted.
Looks like the cuts over the eye.
There's blood on my paper.
Blood on the paperwork here.
It's all over the announce desk.
It's going to be hard for amateurs. I don't think they're going to let him come out of this round.
10 seconds remaining. We'll see if anything significant can happen here in the final ticks as Copeland and King going shot for shot. Both have to be exhausted, waiting for the bell. What an opening round. You draw good attention, though. In an amateur contest, there's not a guarantee that the fight continues, especially with this damage, as Rulon Day will take a look at both athletes.
Yeah, this was a great first round. I think these guys showed heart. What do you think, Shino?
Oh, absolutely. It was a great first round. I think that there were moments of chaos and a little bit of recklessness, and I think that can be a little dangerous, especially, and I totally understand wanting to get that win so badly, but sometimes you got to pull back with the recklessness and the chaos and just see where you're at, reassess, recenter yourself.
Yeah, and you brought up an excellent point, which is you have something And it's working for now. But when it stops working, the difference between an amateur and a pro or a higher level amateur is I know when to pull the chute, man. Right? You know when to let it go and move on to the next thing. What would your advice be now in the corner? What would you tell him?
I would be telling Taylor Copeland to relax a little bit. You know, he's doing great things.
Spend a lot of energy.
He's having a lot of success in the striking department, but he's getting reckless. He's falling over. He's tumbling. He needs to sit back and really settle on those punches more.
Yeah.
And I think he could get him out of there.
Yeah.
And here's an early exchange there. You saw Taylor Copeland landing some heavy shots. Again, you can see that both these athletes are looking for a knockout clearly. In terms of the scorecard, I would imagine it's difficult to score a round like that because it was just chaos for 3 minutes.
There was a lot going on.
You know, when you take a look at the scoring, of course, you know, in terms of octagon control, significant strikes, setting the pace, it's hard to tell who's really coming out of that first round in front. Both men, though, looking like they've already been through a war. It does look like Jordan King took a little more damage as he still continues to bleed out of the nose, but we are here in round 2 as a major head kick there by Copeland.
In the first round, Jordan King was also having a lot of success with his takedowns when Taylor Copeland was, mouthpiece is out.
He knocked his mouthpiece out, and he's trying to finish him here, and that'll do it. The referee will call it. A mouthpiece comes flying out as Taylor Copeland finishes a wild amateur bout. You can see the frustration from Jordan King saying he wanted to continue. The referee hopping in. Again, an amateur bout like this, there's no room for continuing. Unbelievable action there, my goodness.
Yeah, that was great. That was a great fight on both ends.
Both guys showed heart.
Taylor Copeland, his first hand W, his first time getting his hand raised in the cage, and that's gonna feel so great.
Meanwhile, Jordan King taking some heavy damage. It's interesting from Taylor Copeland. You can tell that's a guy who came into the cage tonight. He wanted to win. He wanted this so badly.
Absolutely.
And I kind of want to go back just for a minute. When you talk about going into the second round after such a chaotic and, violent first round, there's got to be, just the thought of, okay, we're going to do this again for another 3 minutes as we watch some of the replay there. You can see Copeland, though, he threw such a nice shot there right on the button, knocking the mouthguard out of Jordan King.
Yeah, and there's some things, and I'd like to hear your thoughts on this too, Shino. When a guy's hurt like that, are you cautious or do you take it to him? Because when they're hurt, they're digging in too now, like they know.
I think it definitely depends on the extent of the damage, but I feel like when it gets to the ground like that, then definitely put it on them.
Yeah.
I think when it's standing, maybe kind of assess, because they're wobbly on their feet. So
for sure.
So assess, make sure you're finding
those openings, popping them in there, right? Yeah, that's such an important part of it, because as an amateur, when you see somebody hurt, it's just that blood drive kicks in, right? Like, I got him, I got to get it. But what we forget is human beings are resilient, man.
Yes.
We're tough, and especially a fighter. And this guy's been cracked before in the gym. He's had hard days doing the conditioning, lifting the weights, cutting the weight, all that stuff has made this a tough human being. He's not going to stop just because he got cracked in the face. And if I get excited and rush in, I might get caught.
Absolutely.
Well, you find out what you're made of in situations like that. We've called a number of shows as a broadcast team together. I can't really remember a more wild first round than what we just saw there. My goodness. Let's get the decision from Jim Strong.
Oh, that 31 seconds of the first round by TKO. Your winner, fighting out of the red corner, Taylor Copeland.